All right, we're going to roll right into this. We're joined now by the driver of the number 23 Allegiant Chevrolet for GMS Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Spencer Gallagher. Spencer, I understand you have some news to share with us today.
Indeed. Good morning, gang. How y'all doing? Wanted to come and sit and chat with you a little today, share some of the plans that we're going to have going forward into the future, into 2019 with GMS, and just talk a little. So first and off the bat, I got a bit of a big announcement to make. Into the 2019 season and ending in the 2018 season, I will no longer be competing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I will be stepping out of that role as a driver and taking on a more managerial role at GMS. As of right now, we are absolutely intent on continuing our Xfinity effort on, and we aim to win a championship with the quality of stuff that we're able to build and the talented people that surround us there at GMS. It has been an incredible journey getting to watch this team grow and flourish and become something incredible from very humble beginnings. And I can't wait to be there personally. This is not me stepping back from NASCAR. If anything, this is me diving in further. But this has been a big decision. It's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. But, you know, GMS started out surrounded around Spencer Gallagher, but since then it has grown to be something so much more and something so much bigger. And I think it's time to take the next step and really see what this team can do. And I think to do that, my greatest utility to GMS lies elsewhere than the driver's seat. I think there's a lot of really talented guys out there, and I think we have an incredible team. But I want to see this team grow and flourish, and I think there's so much opportunity inside this industry, inside the sport we love, and I'm eager to go chase it. But I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys, announce that today. We're still going to be continuing our efforts forward, and we aim to continue the pattern and saga of success that we've been able to see since we got into our truck series and beyond.
All right, we will open it up to questions. We'll start with Lee and then come up here to Pat.
Hello, Lee.
Hello, Spencer.
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm great. Question for you. When I talked to your dad a year ago and they were making their first contemplation as far as going cup racing, he said, we'll do it if Spencer's the driver. So at some point, you know, where did things change from taking that next step? All you said you were retiring from Xfinity. You didn't mention Cup or trucks, but you know, what lies ahead for you? Is Cup and trucks out at this point? And you know, what changed between a year ago and now?
The trucks are certainly an ongoing effort, as will our Xfinity car be. You know, Cup's always on the table for us. We make no bones about it. That's where we want to be. You know, Maury may have said that a year ago, but things change in a year. You know, as far as where this come from, I can share with you on a personal level that, candidly, I've spent 10 years out here on this coast away from my family. And a couple months ago, it kind of occurred to me that, God should forbid, one of my parents kicks a bucket tomorrow, and I had spent the last 10 years out here driving race cars and being away from them. I don't know if I'd ever forgive myself. Beyond that, I'm serious when I say that. I think there are big opportunities for myself, for GMS, and for all of us within this sport, within this industry, and I intend to pursue them aggressively, and I think being outside of the driving role enables me to do that further. I'm not currently scheduled to resume NASCAR competition at any point this time. That can always change. I do love me some truck plate races, though. They are pretty fun.
We'll go over here to Pat and then to Bob.
Pat DeCole, NASCAR.com. When did these thoughts start to creep into your head that this might be an option, and what will this allow you to do as a manager rather than a driver?
You know, it's kind of been a slow ongoing burn, I would say, as far as a couple months back. You know, I started really sitting down, and, you know, like kind of the genesis of it was I really started looking at all the cool technologies and opportunities that exist inside this industry. I think racing is an incredibly fascinating intersection of the auto industry and the high science and technology industry, and that's where I came from. You know, for those that don't know, before I did this, guys, I was a professional nerd and a good one. And I think a lot of my prior skill sets are transferable to this industry. And, you know, I can't talk about any of the stuff I'm going to be doing until I get to doing it, but trust me when I say I've got big things planned for GMS and for this industry as a whole. Huh? I got big plans for us.
We'll go to Bob.
Bob Parker, ESPN. I have a few. So are you racing this tomorrow?
Yes, sir. I intend to finish out the 2018 season in the Allegiant Chevrolet.
Okay. And like, will you have a title at GMS Racing? What kind of responsibilities will you have?
Candidly, from day one there, I've always considered my title to be whatever you would associate with the lowest man on the totem pole. My position at GMS is one of servant. My existence is there to bring others success. You know, my job is to help Mike Beam and everyone at GMS to see this team flourish. So if you want me to give me a title, feel free to invent one. I haven't yet, but I'm just going to be there to help make things run right and make them better.
And did the suspension earlier this year or any of the issues that surround that impact this decision?
No, not particularly. This is a life decision and a business decision as much as anything. I have come to believe that the best way to grow GMS, and that is what is in my heart of hearts, you know, this entire thing is bigger than Spencer Gallagher, guys. Nothing matters more to me than these 3 letters on this shirt. And I've come to believe that the best way I can grow GMS is from atop the box rather than into the seat.
Okay, we'll go right here to the back to Jerry and then to Reed.
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires on Net Performance Racing Network. I just picked up
That
on
mic is terrible or it's not close enough to your mouth.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN. I just picked up on what you said. You said released from Chevrolet. What was that?
What's that?
You said your comment was that you were going to finish out the 2018 season.
In the Allegiant Travel Chevrolet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it said. You thought
No,
you said
no, I may
released
have been rushing my words. Apologies. No.
Okay. No problem. Thanks.
Yep.
We'll go to Reed now.
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. What does a professional nerd do? And do you know who's going to be driving for you in 2019?
A professional nerd is responsible for any and all kinds of technical wizardry. Nerdism isn't necessarily one skill set you learn, kind of like learning to weld. It's more like being a fabricator. It's having a general skill set and a knowledge of how to do things and how to get things done. As to the ride, we're interviewing several capable candidates right now, but you know, I want to let everyone know, as of right now, the seat's open season. I believe we have excellent stuff, and we're taking auditions as of right this second.
If we have any final questions for Spencer, we'll go right up here to Dustin and wrap up.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. I'm just kind of confused. How does somebody think about this process, or how did this come to mind? Yeah, you've got this other opportunities, but why? You know, you've been racing. You're a racer, so racers aren't always the most logical people. There's a passion involved. So how does it come to, while you may leave the door open to running a race here or there, how does somebody walk away? In theory, in the prime of their career.
Trust me when I say this is the hardest decision I've ever had to make, and I did not make it lightly. At the end of the day, this came down to what do I want for my future? What do I want for GMS's future? And how can I grow this team in this sport? You know, candidly, the problem with being a driver, Dustin, is if you're going to be a driver, that's generally all you can be. Being a driver, and don't get me wrong, it's an incredible lifestyle. It's an incredible way to make a living. It's like nothing else. But if you're going to be a driver, at least in my mind, you need to be a race car driver from the time you wake up 6 a.m. Monday morning to the time you go to bed 10 p.m. Saturday or Sunday night. There is absolutely no off time. There's absolutely no in between, because you have to be totally focused and totally committed every second of the day to pushing yourself and your team to find that last little tenth. And that can be a really time-consuming process, as fun as it is. That doesn't leave a lot of, you know, room for any other ventures to go on. And I make no bones about it. Listen, I'm a businessman's son. At the end of the day, you know, I see opportunity out here, and I feel a calling within me to go chase it, to benefit myself and to benefit our sport. I think, you know, candidly, the sport could use young, fresh minds in leadership roles that are, you know, not afraid to go out and try and change things up and try and find something that works, that helps all of us out. And that's what I see. I came here 10 years ago and I fell in love with this sport, with this business, and I want to help it thrive. And I believe more so than in the seat, that's where my real skill set lays, is outside of it, helping all of us. You know, I've got a lot of, that's a really great question, actually. I've got a lot of connections still, you know, back in Silicon Valley. I think racing can be a unique crucible again for the proving out of a lot of automotive technologies, you know, that are getting ready to hit us. It's no secret in the next year or the next 20 years, the way we get around is going to undergo a fundamental upheaval, the likes of which we have not seen since the horse and cart became the car. And quite frankly, I think, you know, this place has a lot more to do with that, or can have a lot more to do with that than a lot of people give it credit for. Where are the best driving minds on planet Earth right now? If you're going down a snowy road in Aspen, Colorado, and a boulder drops 50 feet in front of you, if you could stop time and put anyone you wanted in the seat in the entire world, who would it be? Tell me why that's not Kyle Busch. Tell me why the best driving engine, human or machine, that we have access to, that we can study and research, isn't a race car driver. I don't know. I think there's tremendous untapped potential within this industry, and I've got a lot of ideas for it, and I'm eager to go chase them.
I was just kidding about wrapping up with Dustin. We're going to go to Jerry, then to Bob.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN again. With Casey stepping out of the car for health issues, and then you now appearing in much better shape than you've appeared in photos 3, 4, 5 years ago, was there any health concerns or is everything? I mean, because phenomenal, you look phenomenal.
I do. Thank you.
So I was just wondering if that's played into it with Casey's health issues, if that had something that crossed your mind.
No,
As well.
don't get me wrong. You know, at the end of the day, it has to cross everyone's mind that gets out there on the racetrack that taking hits to the head at 190 miles an hour for a living, not necessarily the best thing for your long-term health. So, you know, that's always in the back of our heads every time we take on the racetrack. But frankly, that's why we're race car drivers. We're irrational. We're the only ones dumb enough around to ignore that fear and go do this for a living, and that's what makes it fun. But no, as far as the immediate thing, there's been no health concerns of mine. I'm grateful for it.
We'll go to Bob and then finish up in the back.
Bob Hocker, ESPN. Do you know how many truck teams you're going to have, and do you know of any of your drivers for trucks next year?
We don't have anything concrete to announce yet, but suffice it to say, I believe we'll still have a formidable fleet to compete in the, well, it's Gander Mountain Series next year, isn't it?
And we'll finish up back here in the back.
Kirk Elliott, raceboys.com. 4 years ago, you won the ARCA race here. You started 32nd. Your memories of that race and how that ranks amongst your wins in the ARCA series?
Oh yeah, that was a great race. That was me and my teammate Grant Enfinger dueling it out to the end. He's going and finding success in a Thor Sport truck these days, but that was an awesome race. Really from the start, I knew we were extremely fast in practice. To recollection, it rained out qualifying, so we had to start dead last. I think by the end of the, well, I was going to say first stage, but by the time the first caution flew, we had gone from last to fifth. Guys on pit road did a great job. I came out second or first, and we were able to hang on to that lead all night, slicing and dicing with Grant. That was, you know, that's something I will always have as one of my finest memories in a race car. That was a fun day.
Spencer, thank you for joining us and sharing that news today, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, gang. Looking forward to this year.